Hi everybody, welcome to another edition of Wegs Garage. Now, I know, what's the old guy doing out here? Well, last week, the furry-faced son of mine, he was on vacation, and I get that. Everybody gets a week vacation. But while he was gone, we got a few things done. Okay, as you can see now, it's actually starting to look like a car instead of a project. While Mark was gone, we managed to get the front bumper and also the grille and headlights into position, and they are all fastened down. It didn't go too bad. It's all bolt-on assemblies, bumper, the bumper titties, and the headlights. Biggest challenge was Triumph, when they built this car, had support rods for the bumper titties. And it's these 5/8 inch steel tubes that run through the grille and then connect onto the frame. And they were a bit of a challenge because they have a compound bend, both on this axis, and then they also bend up to hit the bracket on the bumper titty. Well, I took a look at the catalogs and they wanted like $38 a pop for them, and we needed 2 of them. Nah. So instead, if anybody out there is interested, I built ours out of 4130 aircraft tubing and basically cut to length, squish the ends, spot the holes, and then bend it with a conduit bender, and I got them done, and they fit great. It just is a little time consuming. It took a couple of hours to build 2 of them. But the bumper's on, the grille's on, headlights are on, and all the lights, the parking lights and the turn signals, have been replaced with new ones. One little secret: if you're restoring a Triumph TR4, when you go to fit this grille, fit the top first, put some paper over your painted valance, and then slide the bottom in, and then try and fit all of this together, get it into position, and then fasten it down. So the front end is done. Now around to the back, walk around here, the back bumper is also done. That was actually an easier project. That one's a little more straightforward. Bumper brackets, bumper titties again. The only supports for the bumper titties are underneath the vehicle that run to the frame. If there was a challenge back here, it's the fact that Triumph on these cars has a bolt that goes to a bracket inside the fender well that pulls the bumper around and holds it tight to holds it to a gap outside the car. Now this side's done. The only thing I have to do is at the other side, we were missing what they call an outrigger bracket. And what that looks like is this. That's the outrigger bracket. It actually fits onto the car in this direction, sticks out to a hole in this tab, and then the bolt runs through the hole to a spacer and then into the bumper. And that's one thing I have to do yet today. Probably take about a half hour to do, and then the back end of the car is done. And for what it's worth, for people restoring Triumphs, particularly TR4s and 4As, this piece is not available from any of the parts vendors. There is a man in Alabama, his name is Marv Gruber, that he has old Triumphs, and he will pull parts for you and ship them to you, and he's quite reasonable and an easy guy to deal with. If you're interested, let us know on Facebook or on YouTube, and I'll give you his email address, because he really bailed us out on that one, because you can't get that part anywhere else. So let's bring Mark in, we'll have him take a look at all this, inspect it, and we'll go from there.
All right, so this thing's looking awesome with all the chrome, grill on, lights. So to start today, Dad's got one more bracket over there on the bumper to put back on, and I'm gonna start taking a look at some of this headlight, taillight wiring and start getting all that hooked up. so our bumper bolt here was a little bit tricky, but got that put in. Dad had a lot of fun with that one. So Dad's working on
Trunk latch.
Dad moved on to the trunk latch. I'm just kind of finding the right parts right now. Oh, maybe it's done. And other trunk-related activities. Down here on the other end, still kind of sorting out the wiring. There are quite a few little nicks and cuts in the headlight harness, so I'm repairing some of those and getting everything routed. Still got to put the shroud in for the radiator, and that's kind of what all these wires sit on top of. So for now they're kind of flopping around out here, but get that sorted out here very quickly. Alright, so back here, Dad's got our boot latch in place. Works nicely. Yeah, elsewhere, headlights are wired up. Turn signals don't work right, but I think it's because the rear turn signals are not hooked up. So the next step is to connect the wire harness for the rear lights. Alright, so Dad's got the door latch for the exterior put on. Works pretty good. Everything lines up well. Still need to put the door check strap over there and the door seal, but for now that should work to get us on the road. Back here, more wiring. So getting the brake lights, tail lights, and the blinkers wired up. Alright, so that's going to do it for today. The car's looking great with all the chrome. The lights are, they kind of work. We do need to get new flasher relay, some new bulbs, I think, to get everything working right. Yeah, other than that, we're on schedule for making it to cruise night. So, thanks for watching.